And this is the thing that's on my mind. Draft talk. There are phases in the draft, and on top of that, there are things that we have to be mindful of. For example, when we talk about the draft in general, this is the thing. There are phases. There are so many phases that we have to put it into perspective. Just like this, I have to say this. There's talks of what we will have to do before we go drafting, meaning that there's talks as it relates to signing our own players, and then there's talks of quote unquote should we go out there in the free agent market. Now, this is the thing: the value of free agencies are going to be higher before the draft. That's just the bottom line. It's just going to be higher. So we're going to have to figure out whether or not do we spend that money that we got, or do we trust our evaluation of the draft. Now, the conundrum, meaning that it's issues on both sides, whether you like it or not, would be the fact that when we drafting, we don't have a first round draft pick, which is cool. Believe it or not, which is cool, because Amari Cooper proved to us that it was one hell and one worth of a pick to go ahead and give the Raiders that draft pick. Now, the Raiders mad. Trust me, the Raiders are mad because they got a first round draft pick from the Chicago, and then they fool around and got a first round draft pick from I want to say us. So those picks are going to be on the back end. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm going to try to package those picks to move up a little bit. But as far as it relates to the Cowboys, I looked at some film earlier tonight, and it was evolving, or it was around the nature of the tight end play. We all know that tight end play is the third hardest position in the National Football League. I like what I saw to Blake Jarwin. I love the Schultz kid blocking ability. But the deal is we need an explosive player that can solidify up the seam. And I really think, I really do think that this guy, Irv Smith Jr., you guys can look at my reaction video. I really think that he can be a gem for us if we so happen to move up just a little bit to get him. But if we look at the total draft, and I'm still looking up players, guys, continue to feed me ideas of players, feed me information on players. Let me know whether or not a player will be good and look good for us on his team. It's quite possible for us to flip this thing around, even though we have Jason Garrett, even though we have Scott Linehan. It's going to have to be their way. I hate to say that, but they play with, hey, my guys are better than your guys. My strength is better than your strength. We're going to play our style of football, that type of talk. They're not going to do a lot of scheme. That's just the natural flow of things. So if they're not going to do a lot of scheming, if they're not going to outplan or outsmart or outwit, I think you can say that, the opposition, then dog it, we're going to have to go to the drawing boards and say, okay, we're going to have to outmatch teams, meaning that there's nobody else that's going to be bigger and stronger and faster than the I guess the tight end play or the Amari Cooper play or what have you. That's just the way their philosophy is. So moving forward to this draft, there's pre-draft talk with as it relates to getting a veteran on your team, and then there's the draft. And then there's okay, this is the rest of the free agency. And then there's a little spell or a little moment of undrafted free agencies or undrafted rookies or what have you. Appreciate those that's tuning in to the nation, man. Andrew Castillo, thank you for tuning in. Katie calls it getting better. Thanks, Sheila. Thank you as well, Sheila. Thank you for being a part of the mix. I can see comments now as I work on this update on my phone. Jace from Sternberger, Jay Stenberger is better law. I'm going to look at everything. The reason why I'm not going to do film breakdowns and things like that until after the combine, to me, it just be pointless for me to do a full film breakdown, film session, film review, and there's really not a good evidence of information out there on these players. So I'm just going to look at some highlights of players. I'm just going to look at what their skill sets are, what type of tone, what type of tenacity a player got, and I'm going to look at those particular parameters. Nook, appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. TJ Hawkinson, yes, do you like it? 93. I would take a look at him. I would definitely look at tight end. We would definitely need to look at defensive tackle, somebody who can create pressure into the inside. All last year I said, hey, we need to focus and concentrate on the core. Now, the good thing about this is that Travis Frederick saying that he's coming back on the offensive side of the ball, which is cool, which is flat-footed cool. No, not saying that flat-footedness is cool, but you guys know what I'm talking about. This is another thing, safety play. I do know that there are a ton of Jeff Heath's apologists. I love Jeff Heath. Trust me, I do. Met the man in person. Cool, calm, and collected guy. Cool, super cool guy. I mean, good Lord, he just calm peace about himself. Don't talk too much, don't talk too less. He have a casual conversation with you. But to me personally, just to me, I think that he will be better as a rotational guy that can come in and help spell somebody. Just a good guy to come in here and there. I really think that we need to take a real good look at safety play. I do know that the talk tracks are right now that the Earl Thomases of the worlds, that Stephen Jones and whoever it may be, Jason Garrett, they said, we're not really interested in him right now. But trust me, that's just smoke and mirrors. Earl Thomas will help elevate this team as it relates to zone notification, run play notification, line up in an assignment. Just having a wizard out there, somebody who can tell players where to be, how deep you can be lined up. And definitely, if we look at the Rams game, this last game that we played against them, he'll be able to identify, looking back from the backfield and say, okay, I saw this in the film study. They rolling this play to the right. Don't worry about what they motion it out to. That's what a seasoned veteran can do. But when you have young guys out there, when you have guys who's not disciplined enough in pursuit of their ball, then you see a little mix-ups. You see a little hiccups in here and there. Not saying that these young guys can never grow up to be a better safety out there in the backfield, but they know Earl Thomas. Janique, we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in early this morning. Sam, tight end, safety, yes. Defensive tackle, too. I heard that there's a Dexter Lawrence out there, another D-Law. Shout out to the Laws, man. This is the thing. Kelvin Fisher, he said, any advice for new streamers to earn more views? My thing is YouTube is very, very, very stringent as it relates to hitting the iron when it's hot or striking the iron when it's hot. You just got to go out there. And my only advice to anybody who's starting up a YouTube channel is to post daily. To create genuine content, try to create your own content, and just speak your mind. Be yourself. Never be somebody else. Always try to be yourself and understand that there's going to be a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and that's just life too. So I really would like to help anybody who's trying to join a channel or start a channel. Law, do you play football? Not no more. Yes, indeed. I'm a retired guy, but I can still run. I think I can still run a 4.5 40. I'm messing with y'all. Maybe a 4.6 40. I'm faster than Jason Witten. I guarantee you that. Yes, indeed. Defensive tackle Victor Medley. Yes, we really need to get the defensive tackle, defensive front four. Although we cold-blooded off the edge. Our defensive ends, we good. I'm not worried about Randy Gregory. Next year, the kid is going to be even more explosive, amazing. He's a 10-sack guy. This year, he was still learning, still trying to get his player legs from under him. So next year, he's a 10-sack guy. D-Law, they're going to have to figure out a way to pay D-Law. Do not try to sit around and play with that. Go ahead and pay the man. And as far as Ezekiel Elliott, this is what can help us out with Ezekiel Elliott. Somebody, please, anybody that's down there in the comment box, please help me out with this right here. Can anybody Can anybody find me a scat back, a durable scat back that can help out Ezekiel Elliott? Not one of those Lance Dunbars. We need to stop trying to go out and hang for the low-hanging fruit. Like, oh man, this rookie undrafted running back is going to be amazing. No. We need somebody who got results. Anybody know anybody? Let me know. Alpha Mason 8406 said a huge defensive tackle. Trust me, the huge defensive tackle will elevate all of our linebackers. I hear so many people talking about my boy Jalen Smith, and also LVE talking about they can't disengage, they can't get separation and things like that. They can't fly upfield and things of that nature. Let me remind you guys, and I'm not saying that Ray Lewis was horrible at his spot, but Ray Lewis was an underside inside linebacker, middle linebacker. They played in the 3-4, but he had some hogs. He had some big burly guys in front of him. Did I mention Sam Madison, Saragusa, all those big boys? And then also they had at the latter part of his career, he had this other guy, Haloti Nadi. They had a lot of big dogs up front, which allowed Ray Lewis, who's a guy that can fly out to the ball, chase, disengage, just a different type of animal when you got those big dogs up front. So trust me when I say this. If we can get a fat, big, burly, belly hanging over his knees type of guy that can plug the inside of that middle. We think Antoine Barbecue Woods had a good year. We thought that Malik Collins had a decent year. Man. But if you get a true defensive tackle that can fit inside, man, I guarantee you, Jalen Smith, LVEs of the world, they will eat. They will eat even more. They will. I'm telling you. Just go back. Look back at those old films, man, of the Ravens defense. You'll see that, man, Ray Lewis had a free lane. He had nothing to worry about. He didn't have to worry about disengaging that much. He didn't worry about a guy getting to the next level, because he had them big old burly guys who are sitting up front, just weeble wobbling everywhere with their bellies. Somebody that can collapse that pocket. And this is the thing. It works across the board. You stop the run, force his team to pass. And I like the fact that we saw, it's a conundrum. I'm going to say that again. It's a conundrum. I like the fact that we saw how horrible we look out there as it relates to stopping the run. So maybe, just maybe, the coaching staff, Will McClay, whoever this out there evaluating, maybe they can say, hey, you guys remember, we had this season all up together, but we just couldn't stop the run. So let's go ahead and get that big burly defensive tackle that can sit up in the middle. It's not a sexy pick. It's not a good pick. This guy may not generate 10 to 15 sacks, but I guarantee you the opposition, the opposing team would know his name, because he's going to fill up that plug and he'll be able to collapse that pocket, force the quarterback to roll out to the right or left, and we have a meeting at the quarterback. Randy Gregory will be there. D-Law will be there. And then on top of that, we can blitz up the middle finally, and our guys can get home. The Jalen Smiths of the world will be there. LVE will be there. Man, it will be nasty, man. It will be nasty. Virginia Finals, appreciate you, Joshua Holloway. Yeah, Josh Jacobs. Who is he? Hey, when you guys put players down, let me know. Who is he, man? Let me know what school he went to and where, position he played. Because, when I type in the search engine, I want to be able to pull the right person up. But Law, if we only could get a player which would need the most as far as you're concerned, if we can only get a player. This is from Rev Shane. Let me see what we got here. If we can only get a player, what we need the most, I don't know, man. Antoine Jones, maybe you can help me out, man. We had him in the camp, but we got rid of him. The boy was drafted last year from the Kansas. You talking about Chris Jones? Chris Jones was nasty, man. Chris Jones is nasty. Let me know if I'm right. If you're talking about Chris Jones from Mississippi State, or you talking about Bryce Love from Stanford, he's going to be gone first. What? No. Bryce Love might be there. Oh my goodness, I'm thinking about it. Most of the time running backs make it to the second round. but we picking so late in the second round. Believe it or not, by us winning all those games in the playoff, if you're looking at the draft collectively, we're going to have to move up in order to get like that good player. Believe it or not, we're going to have to move up. We're going to have to will and deal just to move up a slot, because what we're going to be picking with the 58th pick or something like 57th or the 59th pick, it's going to be way down there, man. It could be around in the 55, 56, 57. So it's not going to look good for us unless we move up. We're going to see a lot of caliber players, like good caliber players, go, and we're going to be like, oh no. So we're going to have to figure out a way to package something together. Maybe this year we don't have a third or fourth pick, but we get the person that we know for sure that can be a dynamic player that can help out Ezekiel or can help out the quarterback, Dak Prescott. The quarterback best friend will always be the tight end. Or we can get something to boost up this defense. So we're going to have to make some hard decisions. And all the other things that teams do, like I said, they actually make moves during the offseason before the draft. They go in and they pick those high-priced players. I'm with the belief with Stephen Jones. He said this before. He said sometimes the free agency people are playing too much for those particular guys because they overpriced. So if I'm a betting man, I think Stephen Jones, he's not as conservative, but he's not as flashy as his father, but he's kind of like in the middle, and he does like make those type of decisions, whereas I'm not going to go all the way in. Should we be there? He tore his ACL in the last season. Reggie Morris, who are you referring to? Love, you talking about Love? Love should be there. Hey, tearing the ACL is kind of strange for me, though. I don't know, but he will be a nice guy. Bryce Love, I know who you're talking about for Stanford. He runs. He to me, he's like in between. He's in Ezekiel Elliott and a Saquon Barkley. For those who don't know who Bryce Love is, and he may be one of those guys that we can look at and say, hey, 1-2 combination punch, Ezekiel Elliott, Bryce Love, hey, we wouldn't have no reservations on him. But I would like to see him work out before we make that type of move, because in the second round we've been gambling with those second round draft picks, but this year we want something a little bit more. Ross Smith should put on another 5 or 10 pounds, move back to fullback. And man, my thing is Cowboys don't know how to utilize fullback. They do not know how to utilize the fullback. Jameis Olawale was there, and then on top of that, the lead blocking situation. They love 12 and 13 personnel so much with the 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends out there. I just don't trust this team as it relates to having a fullback out there. I would rather and prefer a scat back. I prefer actually Ross Smith to go get his money, go play for another team, and maybe he can be a full-time running back somewhere else. All right, guys. I've been here for 18 minutes. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget, put down people that you guys really want me to take a look at as far as drafting. And I'll try to do my reaction video. This is my plan. Just like I did the video last night, I'm planning on doing this. Maybe 2 or 3 reactions a day. And based upon whoever you guys tell me to take a look at, and whoever get the most thumbs up on that particular comment, then I would take a look at that person, because I just don't know who is out there, and I just don't have time. Time is always my enemy. And speaking of time, I appreciate you all. I really do. I really appreciate you all, because that's been my time. I thank you for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace. Let's jam on out, baby. I'm running with it off button net on this thing.